If you're like most agencies trying to use the high level platform, you know the number one problem people have is how do I find customers and how do I actually sell this thing? I understand that the SaaS, this platform is so powerful, it can do so many things, but you don't know how to actually go out and find, pick, and sell customers into this amazing thing that you know will change their lives. Because of this, we just put on a 2-part training, and this video specifically that you're on right now is part 1 with people that have sold 7+ figures in SaaS and built projects with GHL that you can sell for $10,000 plus per month. And we broke all of this down into step-by-step processes for how you can prospect and actually sell this amazing platform. Not only this, but we did live sales calls with actual prospects to show you how we would actually do it, specifically actually getting it done right there in front of your eyes. So without further ado, this is part 1 of those trainings that we did. And if you want to learn how to sell and prospect 7 figures worth of SaaS utilizing the high level platform, guys, you are in the right place. Let's buckle in and get into the training now. This is how you can sell 7 figures of GHL SaaS. Let's go.
We're going to be talking about specifically today a topic that everybody has to do. Nobody likes doing except for crazy people like Rahul, which he's definitely going to give us some insights into that. But we're going to cover some really, really simple strategies for prospecting. And the goal of this, guys, is that after today's training, you will literally have no excuses but to do it, because prospecting doesn't have to be hard, but prospecting is one of those things that oftentimes stops a new agency in their tracks. And sometimes, honestly, it stops, veteran agencies in their tracks because it's uncomfortable. But it doesn't have to be. And so we're going to go over some strategies today between Rahul and myself that you guys can literally start doing today to start generating leads for your business.
So nice to meet you guys. So I'm wearing this Blockbuster hat for a reason. Is anybody familiar with the story of Blockbuster? Do they know if it exists or not?
Oh yeah, classic.
So that the reason I'm wearing this Blockbuster hat is because they're super irrelevant. It's just a reminder to be relevant, innovate, and get what you want. Because we can take commoditized products like Go High Level. There's all you guys are using Go High Level right now. If you guys are all saying the same shit to the same people, it's a commodity. So we have to innovate like Blockbuster didn't, which they could. And now they missed that opportunity, and Netflix and Prime and Disney and all these Paramounts are all out there eating their lunch, and they're still around because they got this from the last Blockbuster to exist. So luckily I did go to that store. Yeah, Don dropped that in the chat. I think it's in Bend, Oregon. So I decided to pick up this sunglasses and a hoodie. Anyways, so since we're going to be innovating, I'm going to go into my normal gear. So today we're going to be talking about sales. Day 1, there's going to be 2 days. Day 1 is going to be about the prospecting, simplifying your brain, getting out of your own way and your own ego to eliminate that overwhelm and that fear factor of really kind of making that contact, because it's so scary for so many people if you kind of go in with the wrong mindset to pick up the phone and call a stranger to offer to help them. It's scary to send a cold email. It's scary to do anything because you're already making assumptions and you're making decisions on behalf of a total stranger, which I believe is unfair. So I kind of get into the mindset of how am I making a decision for a poor business owner when I know 9 out of 10 businesses in America are going to fail within the first 3 years. So I changed the mindset from I'm scared to call you to anticipate what fearful reaction you may tell me. And mostly you're thinking, no, they'll hang up on me, whatever. I'm looking at it from the opposite effect. I'm looking at it as I'm giving you the opportunity to stay in business. So it's my job to get good at hooking their ears, hooking that cold call, hooking the way that they're getting information, because ultimately at the end of the day, they're receiving hundreds of calls, hundreds of emails. We have to assume that because you guys are probably getting the same too, right? So we already know that. So now we have to contrast the tension. When we contrast the tension, we're able to really kind of live our dream life in terms of like people are paying attention to us. We're having positive conversations. It makes our day feel good. It makes our lunch taste better. The air smells fresher. Like you feel good for the day. You have that vote of confidence versus that fear of failure, because it's easy to go in that downward spiral, but it's also easy to go in that upward spiral where you just feel like you're always on a mountaintop, because there are going to be ebbs and flows in agency, in any business anybody ever starts, where there's going to be peaks, there's going to be valleys. Our job in sales and owning our own business and being crazy people like all you guys here to have the tenacity to either have a side hustle or an existing business that you're growing. I mean, we have to have that. We have to hire our lows instead of just focus on hiring our highs. So if our peaks are way below, we want to raise our peaks so they're a little bit higher. So we're constantly raising the bar of our income all along the way.
Now, again, this is something that I learned from Rahul, so I can't take total credit for it, but this method actually changed the way that me and Brendan have done business almost entirely. And so I'm going to share this document with you guys. So when I do share it, be ready to get the link in the chat so that you guys can do it. I expect that if you're one of those people that said committed, that you're going to make a copy of this and you are going to fill it out. And when you fill it out, I want you to DM me. I'm going to regret saying this, but I want you to DM me and I want you to share the document that you filled out by the end of tonight so that you guys can bring it to tomorrow's call. Okay. Some of you guys, so those of you guys that are in the GHL Mastery Program already are going to be familiar with this document. We've added a couple of things to it, but the homework portion is the important part. Okay. So in order to start prospecting, you need to figure out a few things. I've got another document over here that Rahul is going to be talking about as well. But we're going to talk about this right now. Finding your ideal client. What does that even mean? Well, we use a method, and Brendan and I use this method that Rahul gave us that really helped us get clarity on who we're going after, why we're going after them, and what we're going to offer. Because without this methodology, you're just going to be scattered. You're going to be selling reputation management. You're going to be selling websites. You're going to be selling automations. You're going to be selling God knows what else inside the Highlevel platform with zero clarity, and you're going to be trying to sell it to anyone. So this document right here is going to help you get clarity, which is step number one when it comes to prospecting. I'm not going to read all this to you verbatim. We're just going to go through what this methodology is. So first of all, we highly recommend you pick a niche. Again, some of you guys have heard this before. Some of this will be new to you. Some of you guys have seen this before. Some of you guys haven't. But we highly recommend that you start out picking a niche. And you start out picking a niche that you have experience in some capacity in. Not necessarily a niche that you really, really like and you think is kind of cool, but that you know nothing about. Start out with something that you actually sort of know a little bit about as a starting point. Pick a niche that you know people in, especially if you're just starting out. Because if you're just starting out, you know, Rahul said this to me 1,000 times, who's in your phone book? That's your first place to start dialing, right? So pick a niche that you know people in, that you can start engaging with them. And then the next part is to follow the 10-10-10 method that we're going to go over. How to pick a service for your SaaS or your agency offer, right? Pick a service that you know you can fulfill. Don't pick a service that everyone tells you you should, because there's a lot of that noise on the internet, okay? Pick a service that you know you can fulfill. We're gonna talk about one really, really easy one that even if you don't know, you can easily fulfill it anyways. Spend some time learning and understanding the software components of your core offer. This is something that drives me insane about the Highlevel community. There is so many people in here that get told or sold, and I want you guys to, ones in the chat if this is you, told or sold that you can download it, you can get this software, you can pay $497 a month for it, and you can just easily sell it to anybody and make $10,000 a month. So spend some time learning and understanding the platform first and foremost, okay? Then build something and test it, and then follow the 10-10-10 method below, okay? So you're getting the gist here. Here's what the 10-10-10 method is, and here's what your homework is going to be, okay? You are going to write down a list of three things, okay? The first list is a list of 10 things that you are good at and that you love doing. Now, obviously, make this around the business principles. What are those things that you're good at within the ecosystem that you're operating in? Maybe it's ads. Maybe it's software. Maybe it's SEO, right? Focus on those things that you love and are good at. And the reason for that is it's going to help you to avoid burnout. Now, list 10 problems that you can solve with those skill sets. You got to dig deep on this one because you may only love 3 things and be good at 3 things, but what are 10 problems that you could potentially solve with those things? So this is the hardest part. Dig deep on this one. What problems can you solve? Because people pay to have problems solved. Now, this one is also super important. List 10 businesses or niches that can pay you what you want to get paid, so they can afford to pay you what you want. There's no sense in trying to go after high ticket clients that make low ticket sales, right? If you want to become a high ticket person, you need to go after those people that can afford high ticket sales. Brendan and I just got off of a sales call right before this call with a company that we were able to sell $6,500 build to. And that's all just high level, right? So like there's opportunities in there with lots of companies. So this is your homework. We're going to list the 10 things that you're good at and you love doing. We're going to list 10 problems that you feel you can solve with those skill sets. And then you're going to really brainstorm on this one. What are 10 businesses or niches that can afford to pay you what you want to get paid? Now that kind of brings us to Rahul's slide, which Rahul, I'm going to let you take over here. But guys, I'm going to get this document into your hands. It's already preset and ready to go. You just need to fill it out. So Rahul, are you ready to go with your side? Because that is also extremely important stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So day one, I just want to give you guys the agenda. Before I do that, real quick, anybody have, if you guys can take a minute, if you have within arm's length, grab a pen and a paper because we're going to be using it. And if you have sticky notes, we're going to need that too. Okay. And real quick, before I get into it, I'm just going to answer a quick question. I'll save the rest for the end. High ticket. High ticket is in context to what you think it is in your mind personally, because if 5,000 is high ticket, then what about a $2 million home? Right. So it's all in context, because a piece of shit junked up car is 10 grand. I wouldn't consider that high ticket. It's all in context of how somebody perceives the value to be. So it's all just in the mindset, but then it's also in alignment with the audience that you're targeting as well. So if you're targeting like higher end people, $5,000 is a night out for dinner. If you're targeting broke people, $5,000 is like you almost stole their child. Right. So it's all in context. It's a perceived value. Everything is all perceived value. So real quick, the two things that I want to start off with, I want to come in hot. So two quotes I live by that I love, and I share this with everybody. That's why they're on sticky notes and they're in view every single day of my life. Practice until you can't get it wrong. If you guys can write that down, it'll have a change in dynamic in the way your brain shifts when you read it for the next 100 days. You'll memorize it forever, and you'll end up repeating it to everybody that wants more out of life. Practice until you can't get it wrong. The source of the quote is Nick Saban, Alabama head coach, former head coach, football. Second quote, Jim Rohn. You guys probably have heard of this. And I have to repeat this back to myself when I'm in a foreign territory of things I want to be good at that I'm not good at, or things I already do that I want to get better at, which is don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Those two sticky notes have changed a lot of things for me. They sound silly, but it's those kind of mantras that I just read every single day. And then my last one is a quote from my dad, which if you want to write it down, you can or not. But it says, winners do it now. And I have a whole poster of it on my wall behind me or in front of me. Anyways, all right. So I want to talk about luck. To be successful, we must be prepared for the opportunity, so we increase our chances for luck. And by following along today and paying real attention here, like focusing and zoning in on here, because I know that there's so many distractions, other tabs, phone calls, whatever. If you put that in silent mode, this will be highly valuable in this 1 hour, that you can always recover those other activities later that might not be as high of a priority. So when you follow along, I think a lot of you guys will become very lucky, because we want to be highly, highly prepared for every single opportunity, so we don't have an opportunity to mess it up. Because if we have an active buyer in front of us and we stumble on our preparation, our words, our explanations, we're going to lose that sale. And if we were playing a sport, we would be cut from that team. Right. So we want to take that kind of sports mentality and become business athletes, so we can actually just have that mindset, be at the top of the game. Because this is presumably, I'm assuming, like you guys tell me, 5 in the chat if you love doing what you're doing. So within like for the newer people, this could be fast for newer people, introverts, extroverts, everything alike. It doesn't really matter where you are, but I think within the first few months, you should be seeing success. And I like to use a round number. It's a very thrown out there number, but it's a milestone number. A $10,000 to $20,000 range is the aim of recurring revenue. Or if you don't have a recurring product, at least a consistent path where you know you can predictably close new people at a $10,000 to $20,000 per month rate. Now, I'm going to go over the areas of how I've done it early on. My very first month, I closed $30,000 strictly off 100% cold calling. And I saw some chatter in there and I was selling a $150 product too, mind you. So you can do the division and see how many volume of calls I made. But then I saw some of you guys were talking about realtors and whatnot. I don't have anything good or bad to say in case some of you guys are realtors on here. But that's who I sold to. I sold to realtors for an entire decade straight with saying no to everybody who was not a realtor. So there is always an angle, no matter what the niche it is. We have to have that. We have to create our own hot dog stand and put it in front of the starving crowd. And that's called the foot in the door offer, or as I call it, I'm a Costco fan, so I call them hot dog offers. And that's the methodology I like to teach. I think it's the best one. I don't think there's anything better than it. When I'm talking to complete strangers that I'm cold approaching, I like to have a foot in the door and an ascension model behind it, meaning let me dangle this like free sample or cheap sample so I can give you massive amounts of value. And then once you like it, love it, my job is to now ascend you through the other suite of services that I have behind it. Okay, so I'm just going to go into it. So right now we got to get that pen and paper out. I just want to do this quick. I normally spend about 15 minutes on this. I'm going to spend about 7 minutes or less. Everybody write down your current monthly revenue. Nobody's going to see it but you. We want to make everything real. Numbers do not lie. So put your monthly revenue down and then times it by 12 right next to it. So you have like, I'm making $5,000 a month / I'm making $60,000 per year. So that's going to be step number 1. And then I'm going to go into step number 2 because it's going to be tied to it. Number 2 is what is your desired monthly revenue and what's your desired monthly annual revenue? Oh, Adam's sharing the screen, it looks like.
Someone's got to do it.
And then number 3, see it? Okay, 3 skills you are aware of now that you need right now to improve. I need to be better at selling. I need to be better at delivery. I need to be better at DMing. I need to be more more focused. Like, what do you need to improve on that you already inherently know right here, right now? Because you guys have got to be self-aware. It's super important. We all know our deficits that we want to be better at. Just this is ego-free stuff, right? I'm not challenging you guys. I'm not putting this and rubbing anything in anybody's faces. This is just self-awareness time. Yeah, no, that's great. I love it because I mean, it's also the things that are going to hold you back because if something's in your head, it doesn't exist. It's what does the guy say from Wolf of Wall Street? It's a woozy, it's a wazi, it's a fugazi, a fugazi. Right. So it doesn't exist if you don't write it down, like, because we're going to back into something that you don't see on the screen in a second after point number 5. So 3 skills you're aware of that you need to improve. And what are 3 habits you need to drop to be successful? One could be some of you guys are too kind, too generous with your time. You need to stop it and be a little bit more selfish. You can write that down. It's not a negative trait, but it's a habit. We got to focus on ourselves. Other people, you may be not prioritizing or doing the tasks, like you're getting distracted too easily, or you're drinking too much, you're partying too much, you're hanging out with the wrong crowd. I mean, sometimes we have to focus on ourselves so we can focus on others later. Kind of like a Martin Luther King or a Gandhi. They couldn't be pillars of legacy without focusing on themselves first and raising capital so their mission got accomplished. All right, so they were very, very selfish to be unselfish, and that's okay. Now, when do you want? Oh, I guess it is on the screen. Number 5. When do you want to solve the problem by? I want like put a date next to each thing you put on, and don't get so aggressive that it's unrealistic that you're already bound to fail. Do something that's very, very reasonable. And you guys know your own circumstances. You know, if you're a side hustler, you know, if you're like, you got to prioritize children and pick up or whatnot. So give yourself a really realistic expectation, but not something so flexible that you push it off so often. That's the best way to get things done. And these are what the productivity coaches of all the way from the beginning of time, from Earl Nightingale to Jim Rohn to Tony Robbins and everybody who's propped up ever since then. It's document, date, document and a date, document and a date. And we always have to prioritize our number 1 priorities. Sometimes you need help discussing those priorities with somebody, and you're more than welcome to reach out to a colleague, a friend, a person you respect, or us. We're happy to help you. We know the agency, GHL, SaaS space fairly well. So we're happy to help there too. Okay, so now we're going to go into the pillars. So now that we got the goals are done, are you guys cool with this? Yeah, I mean, I'll let Adam decide if he wants to share this doc. I mean, I just wrote it up this morning, so I don't care who has it. I wrote it for you guys, anyways.
Yeah, I'll grab the share link.
It's locked right now. Just don't share it just yet. Wait till the end for me if you don't mind, because I want to add some shit to it as well.
Yeah,
I want to get some preparation stuff for tomorrow because I have some live calls that I want to share with you guys that you'll see. Like me live calling an existing client once we get into the prospecting list. I did some cold calling where for somebody's offer that I didn't even know what they were doing for a living. And I just said, tell me what you do, tell me the price point you want to sell it at, and tell me what the gentleman's name is that's going to be answering the phone. And then we went in just hot and closed them in 30 minutes. For a SaaS offer for the core 4. So it's not going to be that hard once you understand the principles. But then I want to preface this that the only people that can make something hard is yourselves by not doing the work it takes to get it done. So it just like an actor may rehearse, like there's famous actors. Now the work and the effort and their backstory and what they did to get those high ticket movies and what they got paid so well to do, they were probably assuming they were very relentless at memorizing lines, body language, tonality, creating drama, creating emotional reaction out of it. And that's what we do too when we're explaining our story. We're getting some emotion out of the person because that's where they buy. Logical things don't make sense. Emotional things do. And that's where people change. So by doing that, we have to come up with the first step of it. What are we offering? What is the big, we call it a scary offer. What's so scary that we can offer them that's so cool? Kind of like examples like Amazon Prime sells $99 a year for movies we shouldn't be watching. And then as a bonus, you can buy stuff you don't need and it'll be delivered in an hour to your house, right? Like Orange Theory Fitness. If you hate your first month, they'll give you your money back because they guarantee you'll be addicted. What else is there? What other offers can you think of? Right? There's so many out there that are so good. Costco, $1.50 hot dog, never raised the price since existence. They lose money off of it, but it's a foot in the door because people will walk out with a $400 shopping cart. Free samples throughout the store so those vendors can get more sales and more loyalty and repeat purchases. So there's different ways we can concoct this, and those are from the bigger players. Now we have to bring it down to you. So what is the big scary offer that we want to sell? Is it web design? Is it going to be the core four? Is it going to be a members area? Is it going to be the social planner? Like we want to isolate some of the features within Go High Level so we don't confuse that of our prospect, because if we give them too much, their brains are gonna break, even though you think you're adding more value, even if you think you're gonna be giving it to them for with or without those features for the same exact price, they're just gonna shut off. So I mean, there's times where I've only sold online reviews for $275 a month. There's times where I've only sold the pipeline management for $900 a month. So and then there's other times where it's the whole shebang, the core four for $300 a month. But then this shit stacks up because these are annuities. This is something so sticky with a CRM because you guys probably have softwares that you haven't got rid of since you started your agency, and you may not use all that well, but you're scared to lose it because you may use it sometime or you use it infrequently and it's too late to cancel. So you're stuck with it forever. And this is one of those things that's so sticky that people can stay literally forever. And that's the cool part, because then you protect your monthly nut, your monthly revenue. Your overhead is predictable. Your income is predictable. You can go on vacation predictably. Fires become less often within the agency. So now we want to know what are the pain points that these people are feeling day in, day out. So like if you walked around your community right now, you can probably see like some stores have for lease signs, but you remembered what that store was. Like, why did they go out of business? Chances are obviously sales is one thing, but why were sales low? Probably marketing, probably software, probably lack of better reviews, probably lack of upselling through database reactivations, keeping in touch with the community, the audience with email, all the stuff you guys are well accomplished to do and sell to keep and protect their revenue because their dreams just went down the door. So what are the pain points you think that they're feeling that are keeping them up at night right now? That's really, really important to just really document that process. And you can, when you have this document, fill all these fields in because this is your business plan. You don't need to go to Harvard for this shit no more. You just fill this in and you have a business plan. It's going to be that simplified, but then this is a living, breathing document that you're never, ever going to be done with. It's always going to evolve, right? Now, one thing I really like to do on anything I'm ever doing, it's going to be testing the audience. And I'll give you a live example. I was thinking about partnering with a business that has a body contouring marketing presentation that literally will say, we're going to give you the patients after they've paid you and showed up and you've sold them your X package. We want $200 per closed deal. All you have to pay for is $500 a month for the marketing. That's it. We're going to do the rest. All 100% of that 500 goes to Facebook. The overhead, all the systems, all the process, all the Go High Level, all that shit happens. So what did I do? I didn't say, oh, that's so amazing, I can go sell this. I didn't do that. I just went straight. I just Googled body contouring. I have no idea what the heck it even means. So I just straight up called, went to Yelp, found some 5-star reviews, and I said, hey, you don't know me yet. My name's Rahul. I just wanted to ask you some research questions. I'm considering buying a company that focuses in your niche. Do you mind if I just ask you some questions to see if this is something you would even buy? And then I gave me 8 minutes of time, gave me all the answers, said, here's my cell phone number. I would love it if it actually works. And it turned into a potential of a client. Now, the reason I'm not following up is because I decided I didn't want to do this business because they needed too much of my time. But my point being is my customer research gave me 10 dials before a holiday weekend. I forgot what that last holiday was, but it was before a holiday weekend when I did this. So it wasn't that long ago. It was this year. But I just literally just sat on Yelp and I didn't think, oh, what if they hang up on me? What if whatever? I'm just saying like, hey, let me just find out what you want. So if I can say, hey, Adam, like if I can find a way to get there's 106 participants on here. If I can get you a way to get to 212, I'm considering doing some sort of work around that. I just want to run some ideas by you to see if that's something you even care about, to double your audience size so you can maybe double your sales potential. Would you be open to 5 minutes with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really that simple. I have nothing to offer, nothing to sell. All I'm doing is entering the conversation to feel what they feel, to hear what they hear, and understand it through the questions that I'm going to ask them to extract the pain points, because my angle is customer research. And then what happens at the end of the call, they're going to be like, hey, if you build this, I would love to be a part of it. And I'm like, well, we are going to be doing a beta. That's what our team has already decided. And we're going to have it at a 50% discount for our founders group. If you'd like, I can put you on that list. It won't be ready for another week. And we're literally going to cap it at 10 so we can beat this shit up. And that's why we're offering a 50% discount. Are you in? So I can get a sale through my research if I want to, right? So there's options. We can pivot, we can play, right? And then use this research to build your lead pool out. That's what I just said. Like if you do the research, make sure you do follow up, make sure you have good hygiene on your database at all times. Take that pain. Salespeople are very bad at admin. Non-salespeople are typically better, but we have to be well-rounded, especially when it's our note taking. Anything that triggers you for connectivity, like they like the Mets, they like the Lakers, they have kids, whatever it is, log those little notes, because then you can use that as far as something you thought of. Like one of our prospects that took me over a month to finally get over the line, he loved the New York Mets. So what did I do? I made a joke about the Dodgers being better, or so whatever I said to him. I forgot what the exact line was, but then I ended up sending him a Darryl Strawberry signed jersey. Right, because of that. Now our camaraderie is better. So I got the lead, and then he liked the Mets. My cost for the acquisition is a jersey. Right. So it moves it over the line. And it creates a bonded relationship. It's and it's emotional to him. He loves the Mets. Every time he sees that jersey, he's going to be thinking of our team. Pivoting along. And if you have questions, if you don't mind, you can write them in the chat. Just remember them, because we'll do some Q&A in about 20 minutes or so. Adam, do we have a little time after this?
Yeah, the plan was to finish this up and then move into a private GHL Mastery after party call where we can really dive into some questions with the cool. GHL Mastery members. So, but we'll try to leave a little bit of space for the public participants.
And then tomorrow I'm going to do a breeze through recap. You can have this document as well, so you have some memorization points or whatnot. But I'm gonna jump through this part really quickly, because I'm gonna get to the these are the prerequisites. Like, what are you doing? Are you going to be a productized offer, like $1,500 setup fee, $300 a month, $500 a month? That's what we need to do. And what gets bundled into those products, like websites are a very easy sell. Landing pages are very easy sell. The core 4 is very logical and profitable sell. So those are easy things that you can like pre-package, pre-make. Kind of like if you bought Microsoft Office right now, you're not talking to a human. They don't need to customize anything for you. It's a software. Anything you sell is incremental sales. When something's already built, you just have to do the share link thing and put it into a sub account. Or a SaaS value-based offer. So what's something worth to that person, or a time and material play? Like, hey, this will take me 150 hours. I'm 150 an hour. What's 150 times 150? And then you have your numbers. This is more customized. Then there's a mixed batch where it's SaaS plus the service. Some people say SWAS with a W, service with the software. And then you can combine it with Facebook ads. You can do automation workflows. You can do whatever it is you want. You can bundle stuff together so it's comboed. I tend to like to do isolation. If for smaller business, I like to sell SaaS first and then follow up with an ascension model of marketing. But if it's a bigger company that does, like, let's say 500,000, I guess that's not big, but like $1 million, I'm going right into number 3. I just want to bundle everything together. And I'm going to show you guys a live document of the jersey person or the Mets jersey that I purchased. I have his contract, I think linked at the bottom too, that I sold to him. And then referring people to Go High Level is another revenue potential. So everybody has their own affiliate offer or affiliate link. and it's just supplementary income. And if that's your business model, then you just focus on number 4 and go all in and be a content monster to get people on it. And then we'll touch tomorrow on ascension and descension models and how raving fans can make us $1 million. Here's the pricing models I just covered. And now we got to finalize our offer menu. Now, what is it you're good at, and what is it that you can not kill yourself and then regret selling, and do that. Don't get yourself in a trap, because it's just going to suck your time and lose your profits and lose the client anyways. Just focus on one thing, get good at it. If you're not good at anything, and like I am, I'm not good at websites. I'm not good at setting up Core 4. I'm good at presenting it. I know what it is. I know how to use it. Chances are I do know how to build it. I just don't want to. So I hired a bunch of designers. We have over 154 templates already created. So when we do a website that's custom to somebody who's never met us, we have the ability to charge $5,000 to $10,000, or we have the ability to charge $500 and still remain highly profitable. So when we prefix our assets or purchase assets from a good vendor like Adam and Brendan here, then we have something that we can just literally go out and sell like crazy. Just go boom, 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 and just be a robot, sell the same thing over and over, collect the cash. And when some things start to get harder or diminish, that's when we take the Blockbuster hat off and we get the Netflix hat on and innovate again. So here are some options that you have for yourselves. These are popular, what we teach a lot of people and people ask me about: websites, landers, membership areas. I just kind of bundle those as like the web game right there. Social media planner. And then as a possibility, if you're a service person, you can do social posts, like making graphics. If you're niche based, like we have a category called Real Estate Rainmaker. I have over 100 real estate graphics already pre-made. So now I have choices. Do I give that to them for free with my retainer? Do I sell that alone? Do I use it as a lead magnet? Do I charge them for it? Do I say for a lifetime deal of $1,200 for this social media planner using, I don't say Go High Level, using Follow Up Monster, that's our private label name, we'll give you the 100 posts and show you how to use it with a video, how you can do it yourself on a Super Bowl Sunday, a football Sunday, a playoff Sunday, watching hockey, or make your child do it. It's that easy. So we have all these different infinite possibilities to spin simple things into highly profitable, easily sellable stuff. The Core 4, I mean, I wish every business owner just knew they absolutely cannot live without it no matter what they do. There may be some outliers that truly don't need it, but in my mind, if you don't have a Core 4 set up for your business, you're leaking more money than you're making. Workflow creation. This is always really, really intricate and detailed, because a lot of people in business, especially small businesses, they think business is done when it should be business is doing. They finish this and let it ride forever, and they don't know if it's working or not. We always break down our workflows, like our email campaigns, our reactivation campaigns. So what we got good at articulately explaining this, why this is important, why this is where the money is, why should somebody want this?
And guys, I just want to cut in here on the workflow creation, guys, because one of the things that we do, and we teach obviously inside the GHL Mastery, is that instead of calling them workflows, which your average roofer is not going to know, they're not going to care what you mean by a workflow. We change the language here to customer journey, right? What is your overall customer journey that we can actually create a process around that that's going to help you, with your lead generation, that's going to help you with, once you've got the leads, turning them into a prospect. Once you've got a prospect, turning them into a sale. How can we actually structure that customer journey for you? Which is the things that Brendan and I focus the most on, right? That's the $6,500 build that we just sold literally an hour before this call, is all surrounding a customer journey and creating a system that works for that company. So it's just another way to spin workflow creation, is what is your customer journey?
Yeah, like talking the language that the customer will comprehend. Typically, it's safe to talk as a third grader level.
Yeah, I was thinking I had to.
I'm just using this language just because you guys, right? You guys are already familiar with it. Anyways, and then custom solutions. This is a little bit more complex, so I'm not going to touch on that. And then we'll go over the profit maximizers tomorrow. Niches, I'll breeze through this. Actually, just read this, because I'm not going to go into niches right now. You guys know it. And then props and materials. So if you guys are doing screen shares or you're doing phone calls without any kind of props or materials, totally cool. I use this one a lot, oftentimes when I'm blending marketing with our CRM, the Follow Up Monster, which is Go High Level to you guys. And then I use a live interactive demo. I'll just pull it up really quick. And Adam has a more sophisticated one. So when somebody fills in all this information, they hit the let's go button, it goes into whatever the next steps and a call to action. And now they're about to get 5 emails, 5 text messages and 5 voicemail drops all in 5 minutes. And I'm holding the number 5 up apparently there too. So that's what that does. So I'm tangibly showing them a demonstration of what it is that they could have or what's going to slip through their hands. So most people don't want money slipping through their hands, but that's going to demonstrate how that is happening to them and has been happening to them since they started their business. So I want them to be mad at themselves for not being aware. That's the goal, is evoke that emotion of I've lost $1 million not knowing this. Then the logic would be, do you want to continue to lose $1 million? The answer is no. So they're not going to be penny wise, pound foolish anymore. Because if I sell the system for 1,500 setup and $300 a month, it's really a no-brainer. It really is no-brainer. That's when we create the gap, which we'll go over tomorrow. Okay, this is the magic area. This is going to be simple. You might be impressed. You might be also mad at yourself for not just actively doing this every single day, getting what you want, increasing your revenue. But this is what is the easiest thing to do. Is everybody has a cell phone, and while we're on here, actually part of the homework, I'm going to ask you guys to find 10 to 15 or maybe even 20 people. Don't necessarily stop there. Keep going if you have more people. Find people in your business or in your phone book that own businesses. The second part of the phone book is you're going to find people who work at businesses that they can introduce you to those owners. And then the third part of the phone book is you're going to find people that can introduce you to people that you want to do business with. So one is the business owner, one works at the business and can invite you and introduce you to the boss. The third one just has access to your exact clientele. Like, for example, there's 2 people in my phone book right now. One's named Sabin, the other one's name's Jeff. They own pretty large credit card processing businesses. They have a lot of SMBs. They have my clients. I want those clients. I don't want to work hard for those clients because they already did it for me. How can I now negotiate and convince them and persuade them to say, hey, what if we send out some text messages, maybe invite them to a webinar on how they can double their revenue in 2024? What if we did something like that for them? And I just do it for free. I do marketing. And then my pitch would be buy this follow-up monster software. And what do the business owners, Sabin and Jeff, get out of it? They'll get a piece, right? They'll just pay them a little bit of money. If I make $300, you guys can have $50. Would you be happy with that? No, we want 75. Deal. Done. I'll make 225. You have hundreds of thousands of customers combined. I just need 100 to 50, 150 of them. That's it. All right. So it gets a little creative in this phone book. Just alone, there's probably millions of dollars sitting in the phone book for those of you guys that have done a good job networking and being around business owners. For the rest of you, just get good at it. And then networking events are great. Whether it's at Starbucks, you overhear somebody, you're at a bar, at wherever you are, you have an opportunity to network and talk about what you do by asking somebody else, like, hey, how's your day? Cool. What is it you do? Oh, you own a business. Awesome. So do I. What do you do? Here's what I do. And then you're in the pocket of a conversation. Like, it'll be simple. Well, I'll like on these categories of these prospecting things, tell me what you guys like the most for tomorrow, and then I'll prepare for that for tomorrow. I like all of them, quite frankly, just because I'm built to just be I'm aware of opportunity. I just want to always be aware. I'm not like a living, breathing, like hardcore salesperson. I love what I do. So because I make money doing it, so it makes me love it even more. But it's just like, I can talk about this till somebody's blue in the face, but I'm also aware that nobody else wants to hear me talk about this all the time until I make it super relevant to them and get them super, super interested in me and in what I do. So networking opportunities, these are all around you. Groups online and offline, Facebook groups, Go High Level groups, job network groups, LinkedIn groups, any groups you can possibly think of. There's a lot of people asking questions that need a lot of help. Start commenting and give them answers. They'll friend you, they'll reach out to you, you friend them, you reach out to them, online and offline. Like 2 Saturdays ago, I saw some dude wearing a Pace Morby hat, the little peace sign, because I follow Pace Morby in the real estate space. And I just asked him, I'm like, yo, Pace Morby fan? He's like, yeah, I'm the mastermind. He's like, in fact, we meet every Saturday. I went there on Saturday. I'm like, I want to learn that shit because I want to sell my house. He was interested in having a piece of my house and saying, let me be your agent, represent you. And then I started talking to him. I got him off that X, as Christopher Voss called it. And I just said, well, how are you guys even getting in business other than by chance of me saying something to you in a gym? He's like, dude, we all suck at marketing. We can totally all use your help. Right. So an opportunity. Now I have a choice to capitalize or not just by networking with an offline group. Right. So I networked. Number 2, I went to an offline group at a local place, and then it turned into conversation. Number 4, where your money flows. Do you go to a dentist? Do you eat food out? Do you buy stuff anywhere at a local shop where the owner may be present? They owe you the conversation because you're paying them. You're their customer. So if I'm at a restaurant that's a local, I'm like, yo, who owns this place? Food's fantastic. They're like, oh, Ruse. Oh, is he in? Yes. You mind if I have a word with him? That easy, right? Then you can start your conversation there. And then you set up your meeting. You come back when it's not dinner time or lunchtime when they're truly busy. You give a little bit of a taste, tell them the context. I'd love to meet with you. When's the downtime in the restaurant? When's the downtime in the dental shop? What's the downtime in your tinting company? I'll come by to you, or we can do it on Zoom. Masterminds you invest in. This is like, I mean, shoot, they're all such good areas, but this one's been particularly like good for us because a lot of the masterminds I go into, I already know that if I'm in a mastermind, there's going to be birds of a feather that flock together. And if I'm in a higher end mastermind where I spent a little bit more than I'm used to, then I know that there's going to be a lot more wealthy people in there that have a lot of experience where I come in as the digital marketer and and like I find my angle. If everybody's doing digital marketing, then I might flip my brain into I'm the web design graphic designer so I can actually sell to that audience while I'm learning with them. So I'm also their colleague, I'm their compadre, but I'm also their vendor. So I just find the angle of what I'm good at and what I'm capable of. And then I maximize the masterminds that I'm in, where I kind of joke around with my partner, Cody. And I say, we get paid to buy $50,000 masterminds because we're going to walk away with 500 grand by the end of this year by the clients they're going to refer us. So we just find our angles and we just be super, super aware. And I'll cover this one tomorrow, or whatever you guys ask me to cover, I'll cover tomorrow. Might actually have to be a little bit more than an hour, Adam. Referrals and word of mouth. The reason it's so low down this list is because it's unpredictable. It's a fantastic way to have business if you're in and in, but it's not something I'm comfortable with just focusing only on referrals and word of mouth because they're streaky. Sometimes when they say it rains, it pours. Sometimes like you get 4 or 5 referrals, you think you're on top of the world and life is going to be the same the rest of your life. And then all of a sudden, whack, those clients cancel or one of them or 2 of them do. And then you don't have any other income because you didn't use that money to go prospect or build content or do the other activities to do any kind of prospecting. So I just don't necessarily, I think that's already coming anyways. I mean, as long as you're prompting people to know what you do and constantly be in front of them through your posts or your t-shirts or whatever it is you do, that's how you get the distribution. You'll get more word of mouth referrals, but they're highly unpredictable. Social media posts. It's bolded. It's number 7. It should be like number 0 because it's super important. That goes without saying. That's like, how many of you guys found this group or this webinar just through a social post?
Yeah. I mean, how many of you guys got onto this webinar just simply because you were in the GHL Mastery free group and saw what we were doing, right? Lots of you.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good. So, I mean, that's the value and the power of what is given to us in front of our noses is a free platform called Facebook, called LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, whatever else is out there that you guys like to use. It's all free and it doesn't take very long. I might even add in the homework to just post what you do and keep it super, super simple. Like a mission post, like instead of saying my mission is to help 10 more realtors get 10 more deals by 2024. So that kind of stuff is kind of whack. It's played out. I used to do it. Don't do it anymore. Instead, I focus on my goal. My goal is to be the best agency coach in the space without this and eliminate those snake oil salespeople. A statement done. I'm just putting out the stamp in the world. Here's what I do. Super simple post.
I want to jump in here real quick, Rojo, because a lot of people, and me included, before I joined your program, was thinking, oh, my social media has got to be like, it's got to be a banger. It's got to look pretty. It's got to have all the nice pictures. It's got to have all the nice graphics. I got to make it look really, really good in order for it to be effective. And that could not be further from the truth. I'm going to drag something over here that a whole bunch of you guys reacted to. And it's so simple. It's this post right here, right? Hey, who wants to sign up for our free webinar on how to prospect and sell? This got over 260 people to register for our webinar, and there's over 100 of you on here right now. So your social media content doesn't have to be extravagant. Rahul, can I comment on the Alvin method?
You may.
Cool. So there's a gentleman. I already said his name, but I really should have made him not named because he doesn't like to be named. But his method is to document what he's doing. His method is, hey, I just signed up this client and we're going to be testing X, Y, and Z on X, Y, and Z platform. And we're going to see how it goes. The next post, you're going to see it. Results. Hey, check it out. We were able to get X, Y, and Z results for this customer that we just talked about the other day. That's all he does all day long. And he's constantly getting leads from those posts. Just documenting what he's doing, documenting the opportunities that he's jumping into and then documenting the results, good, bad, or ugly. And if they're bad results, he's like, we didn't get the result that we wanted here. Here's what we're going to do next. Right. And so it doesn't have to be overly complicated content. It doesn't have to be overly glamorous, right? It just has to be value driven that gets your audience to think, what is this person all about? What is this person doing? Don't overcomplicate it, because I know I did it in the very beginning.
Yeah, and just a quick backstory to put some context of like what Adam's talking about right now is simple. Like with this guy Alvin, he was working a full-time IT job, building this agency on the side. By the time he quit, he had already tripled his income from his paying job. I don't know what took him so long to finally quit, but he did. That was a comfort, a safety net, I guess, because now he won't have insurance or whatnot. But that's what he did. He just side hustled his way to like crush it on his income, then finally quit. So it's all through these basic ass posts, like just networking through this prospecting list right here. It seems like it's easier. It's so simple that it may or may not work. I'm just going to tell you, and maybe you'll just believe me by the words out of my mouth, is it just works. It's going to work 100% of the time. You just have to put your 100% of your effort, because when Adam said, am I committed or not committed? The people that wrote committed, we do whatever it takes. We break down walls, because that's the definition of entrepreneurship. Nobody's giving us anything. We don't work for a big company anymore. Like at realtor.com, when I started my business in their parking lot, I was like, fuck, I need a computer. I'm like, damn, what phone am I going to use? Right? I didn't know what the heck I had no clue what the fuck I was doing. But it all worked out because I focused on sales is the lifeblood of the business. Every shark on Shark Tank will say that. It's the number one thing they care about when they invest, unless somebody has some crazy ideas. But for the most part, the numbers are the most important part to the business, to the health of the business, and we have to focus on that. Here's some other, I call these the warmest. I'm going to go into the warm areas. Adam walked me through his process this morning. So Google ads, you can go to those Google ads, you can click on them. Yes, it's going to cost them a little bit of money. It's okay.
Let's Rahul, let's fly through these, because these are all like, you guys will all get this document, because I want to fly through these so that, you hear them, you hear the words, you know that they exist, but then I want to actually show you guys a couple of different prospecting methods, and we're running short on time. So let's hit it.
Oh yeah. Google ads, click any ads, doesn't matter. Click it. Does it go to a website or does it go to a landing page? It goes to a home page. You have an opportunity to sell a landing page and a better website. That's your in. Gap businesses. What are they missing in their business? Do they not have a website? Do they not have any funnels? Do they not have any landing pages? That's what I call, what's the gap that they should have that they know they're missing? Leveraging social media. We already talked about it up here, posts, LinkedIn, Facebook, IG, TikTok, etc. Follow-ups on everybody who's ever been in your calendar for the last several years. Respark those opportunities. Go to your sent box, go to your text message logs, go to any area that you've ever had a lead or a canceled client, which ties into number 5, and follow up with them with an angle of value of how you can work with them and help them even further. The art and science of turning cold to warm leads. We need angles over here. So this is what people call, I'm gonna change the word cold calling to, I have something that will grow your business calling, and I just want to introduce myself to you. Okay. So it's not cold calling. It's like, we got the hot ticket. We just need to let the world know about it. Content marketing, like ties in with the social stuff, but there's other areas. You can post on the social, you can make videos, you can do blogs, email, podcasts. You can be a guest on other people's webinars. Like, I'm a guest here today. You can do podcasts on other people's podcasts, etc. Strategic partnerships. For like a PPC agency, I might cold call them and say, yo, I do amazing SEO. You want to partner up? You can make some more income. And if you don't work with somebody that does SEO, like your clients may be at risk to go to a one-stop shop. Do you want to do it? That's not the pitch I would do, but that's the idea. Forums, groups, commenting. I touched on that above. And then if you want to go old school, I used to do this all the time, still works, is fill in people's web forms. Then we have expansion marketing, which is going to be the paid growth and stuff you got to invest in with content. Now, here's what I want to do. Like tomorrow, we're going to go over how do we take a commodity when everybody's selling the core 4, and then we're going to be able to make it sound like it's something super unique by contrasting the problems they didn't even know they wanted to solve. We're going to expose to a prospect on what our solution solves for, what pain points that they already know there's pain points, then there's unknown pain points, then there's even more pain points. So if we hit on 1 or 2, we're doing okay. We may or may not get the sale. If we hit 3 or 4, our probability goes above 70%. Once we're at like 5 pain points that solve within the core 4 or our offer, we're already in like Flynn. We have a hot commodity prospect ready to rock. It's our job to move them over the line. So we'll cover some of that topics tomorrow. Okay. Now for the challenging stuff, everybody cool to be challenged here? Is that cool? You guys competitive? You like community? Yeah, I love competition. It just creates this thrill, but then it also, for some people, it creates this fear factor. But in this case, we're just going to do it together. So everybody wins. It's going to be like AYSO soccer. You all get a trophy, okay? So it's just the key is that first momentum. It doesn't matter what you do. It's just that you do something, okay? So here's the homework. I want everybody to fill in that 10-10-10 document that Adam's already shared. If you haven't shared it, Adam, just share it. We'll share it again when I'm done talking. Just so it's one of the last posts. Before you go to bed at night, I don't know what time it is wherever you guys are, but if it's in the United States, the furthest away from me is 4 hours, so it's 5 o'clock in Atlantic time, and then do your math on your or I guess you can look at your watch. And then I want you guys to reach out to 10 to 50 people. 10 being like, yeah, I'm accomplished. Under 10, not so accomplished. 10 we hit the double digits, and we can keep going from there. And if you like TV shows or basketball, have your laptop on your lap while you're doing it. Just flip up over the score and have fun making new contacts. Pretty cool to do. Here's a cool, really, really simple script. I just whipped this together, and I was just thinking, I don't know what you guys do just yet. So I built it around like the website thing, because I was talking to Adam about websites.
Before you do that, can I show them? I want to show them some really easy prospecting.
The funny thing is, I thought I was sharing my screen this whole entire time, but I'm not.
No, I was sharing it for you. It's all good. Okay, so for those of you guys that are on the Zoom right now, the second last comment. So Amir asked for it, and I provided it right above that. So you guys can get access to that prospecting doc. Make a copy of it. Do not request access. Okay, make a copy. It's yours for free. So we've already got a ton of you jumping onto this document. But if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of this, so first of all, I expect that you guys are going to get this done, because this is going to be the biggest game changer for your own prospecting. You're going to find out what you're going to offer, who you're going to offer it to, and what problems you're going to solve. Okay, so fill out this part. Now, if we scroll all the way, no, I'm just going to highlight this right here. There's nothing to it but to do it. Okay, prospecting doesn't come to you. You have to go and do it. That's the definition of prospecting. So all of these things that we've talked about today and all of the strategies that we're going to show you are going to do absolutely nothing for you if you don't do it yourself. You have to do it. Okay, so do it. Do the homework. Okay, we're going to walk down here, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that when I learned these methods, I was absolutely shocked at how simple it was to actually go and find prospects. The outreach is the hard part, right? Outreach is the hard part. So I'm going to do prospecting method number 1 on Google, which Rahul already mentioned. I've actually got one open right here. So I just searched for Calgary roofing companies on Google. Okay, when I go to Google, the very first things that I'm going to see are the Google local service ads for this industry. And I'm also going to see the sponsored posts, which means these people are running ads. Okay, so these people, the first people that I see are paying to be on Google. So these are really great prospects already, because they're already spending money. They're already investing in their business. Now, I'm going to click on this one because it's the first one that I see. What I'm looking for right out of the gate is, okay, well, they're already paying to run ads. What are they running their ads to, and how effective is that actually going to be in order to generate prospects, in order to generate leads for that business? So let's just click on here. I'm going to have to blur this out on my YouTube video now. But so first things first, this goes to a website, right? Websites are confusing. I'm going to get off this page that has, free quote, contact us. And I'm going to start clicking around. And then I'm going to forget that I even came to this page to look for a roof repair service in the first place.
An analogy for that. It's like needing a pair of shoes and somebody says, go to the mall, right?
Yeah.
The ad said that I'm going to take you to get shoes. Yet it led you and dropped you in the middle, not like at a specific store, just in the dead center of the middle of the mall.
And now you got to go figure it out yourself. So this right here is already, in my opinion, a prospect, because there's no real clear call to action other than get a free quote. But if I have to get a free quote, I have to go to another page. Now, we have a unique angle for this stuff, which is why I like roofing companies, because we have our estimator tool, right? Our estimator tool gets leads like crazy because it says, hey, get an instant estimate instead of request a free quote. So what can I do for this company? I can call them and say, hey, I noticed that you were running ads. Rahul, this is maybe where your script comes in. I noticed you were running it straight to your website. I've actually taken the liberty of creating you a free demo landing page that will help convert more leads or more visitors to your website into clients. Would you be open to taking a look? If you want it, it's totally free. You can have it. And the reason that I can offer that is because I'm a high-level agency owner, and I just so happen to have about 50 roofer template funnels that I can go and grab for free, slap a logo, change some colors, and there's a website that I can demo to that person on a call. But the call is not about the funnel of the landing page. The call is actually about our scary offer, which is, what else in your business do you wish operated better? What other problems are you having that we can help you solve? But this is the foot in the door, the scary offer, the hot dog offer that Rahul's talking about, right? What should a landing page actually consist of? It should consist of a core offer, a way to get it, and pretty much nothing else. Piss or get off the pot. But this person's spending money to get people to this page where I have to go and I have to click to do anything else that they want me to do. What if I could just do the thing? And here's another thing. Freaking hate these, right? Nobody's going to fill all this out. Nobody. Not a freaking chance. So they're spending money to get people onto a page that's not even going to convert.
That's definitely not going to convert, because I needed a new HVAC system and I had to go through the same exact thing and I didn't go through it. So I'm like, I'm not giving you my home address just yet. I just want to know what I want to talk to you about HVAC, not come to my house just yet.
Right.
So it have friction built in already.
So here's a lead. Here's a prospect that I can go after right there, and I can offer them something. Like I said, I can offer you a free landing page that's going to help you convert better. It's yours if you want it. We just got to hop on a call so I can go through it all with you. Right. So there's option number one. Now, if we go down to option number two, this is a really cool hack that I learned. We're just going to copy this right here and we're going to open up another Google search bar, and I'm going to paste this in here. So site equals facebook.com. This must contain facebook.com. It also must contain @gmail.com. It also must contain roofing, and it also must be in Calgary. Okay. So this is basically a query search parameter for inside Google that's going to search Facebook. It's going to search for emails. It's going to search for the niche, and it's going to search for the location. So when I hit enter, here is a whole bunch of people. So obviously we got our sponsored folks again, but now the rest of these are actually going to be on Facebook. So I can click onto this one right here.
That guy's got 1.8 rating, 1.8 rating too. So we got online reviews as a target too.
100%. So now we're starting to think, okay, what can we actually do here? We've got their email, we've got their phone number. We can cold email them, we can cold call them now. But let's first, like I said, let's run with that same strategy. Let's go look at their website and see what it's like. Oh, well, there's a problem right there. So again, I'm 2 for 2 just going through this method, finding problems that I can solve right out of the gate. I can now call this company and be like, hey, I found you guys on Facebook. I was looking for a way to get a hold of you. I went to your website and I got an invalid page. It looks like your SSL certs aren't working properly. And so with that being said, I actually took the liberty again of creating you a new website just to show you what this could do for your business. Would you be open to a call to take a look? Right. But I'm 2 for 2 now, just trying to find businesses that I can help. And I'm telling you guys, it's not hard at all. So let's go find another one. And again,
before we do that, let's go. Let me give them the script, because now we've got the methodology. Let me just show the script and flip back over to this. So I wrote a quick little script for you guys. If you can share
Rahul,
that.
Don't forget oh, you want me to share the doc? I'll share the doc. I can
share that doc real quick. Yeah.
Where's the script? Is it at the bottom?
Yeah, it's at the very, very bottom. Point number 3.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so I just whipped this together as just basically along the lines of what Adam just mentioned. So I'll let you guys read it. So I just broke it out instead of a paragraph of what I put the category. I just want to disarm with connectivity. You're like, yo, Johnny, what's up, man? How you doing? So that's the energy I want to produce over the phone, right? Hey, I trust you and the team are doing well. Anyways, I saw your ad on X. And I saw that it's not going to the right web page. Seems to be what I think is like a general site, which people really don't fill in their information or tend to call anyone. I'm guessing you want more sales and leads from the money you're investing. Is that right? Got it. Either way, anyways, I made a squeeze page for you. It's customized for your biz that will increase the likelihood of all the leads that you're generating for your sales team. Would it be okay if I emailed it to you, or would you prefer I text it to you? And then this is the last number 5 is if you're actually emailing this or DMing this to people. Okay.
And you can flip that too. Like I've seen a lot of people use that same website example that I just gave you, which is like, hey, I created this for you. I'd love to show it to you. Do you have time for a quick Zoom call sometime this week? Right? You
Yep.
can have it, no pressure. You can have it if you like it. And if you don't like it, no big deal.
Yeah, the you can always do a Zoom. That's great. The reason I write this particular one for my process specifically is that I don't want to Zoom myself. I want to try to handle this quickly over the phone and make an in and out sale, like in the door, out the door, and then ascend from there. And that's when I Zoom. If it's pertinent to build a relationship, then I Zoom. That's why I specifically say, would it be okay if I emailed it to you, or would you prefer I text it to you? And if they say email, awesome. What's your best number to reach you by text? And then, yeah, you can have the script too, by the way, Clyde. And you can modify this. Like, scripts are frameworks. So you can play with it. You can change the language. You can do whatever you want with it. But this is just a framework of one example. And this is along the example of Adam's screen share of doing that little, whatever, facebook.com email thing, niche plus city. If you eliminate the city, it'll just open up everywhere. You can do whatever you want with that prompt that he showed. And that's a brilliant prompt. And you can change Facebook to yellowpages.com. If you want to target people who have yellow page websites that are old, ugly pieces of shit, you can always modernize them. So there's sky's the limit just on this one offer. And then if you do this 100 times a day for the next year, you'll be making a lot of money. And then let me just show you the last thing. I'll use this as the teaser, and I'm going to ask you guys to do an exercise for me in a second. So this is all along the lines of GHL mixed with some services. Okay, scroll down to keep scrolling down till, yeah, right there. So these are the things we sold, a little bit up just to the scope of the work so everybody can see it. And we'll go into the pricing later. So the top of the scope. So basically we're doing marketing plus GHL work. So digital plumbing, that just means analytics, very fancy term for it. Paid traffic, which is a social media marketing, retargeting, which is a part of the paid traffic, but I isolate it so it sounds more valuable in the mind of the customer, that it looks like its own whole unique category. Landing page design and coding. I'm saying those words specifically because when I'm delivering these, I'm doing these over Zoom. So I'm speaking in their language, but I want it to sound complex and fancy in their mind, but simplify it in my words. It went along the same lines of adding the word coding, website design and coding, LinkedIn Gold Connect, an outreach campaign, and then we have a renewal period. So then we can scroll down to the budget terms. So it ended up being whatever. I don't know if the math is right. It was supposed to be 28,000. The actual month one was 13,000. So this is obviously an older copy, but it was 13,000 and 5,000 a month for 4 months. And then it automatically renews at a $5,000 month-to-month level if they don't cancel within a 30-day notice. Anything above and beyond out of scope is a billable at $150 per hour. We're not an hourly shop. I just have that in there to eliminate the need and want and desire to say, do free shit for me. So I can say, hey, you need additional help in that category, not a problem. Explain it to me so I totally understand it. That way I can produce a quote for you. So I don't say, oh, no problem, I'm going to do it. I hate scope creep, and you guys should too. That eliminates that. And sometimes I give customers wins. Like if they say, dude, I really need a cool graphic for this. And then I might just be thinking like, well, if it's a graphic, my designer can bang that out in 20 minutes. I'm not going to charge you $200 for it. I might just say, yeah, like I'll get that done and we'll take care of the payment later. And then that's my gift to them because I'm going to get a small win with a $0 invoice. Like I just did a $0 invoice with somebody and they fucking love me. It turns into more ascension because they feel like I'm taking care of them, which I am. And in return, they want to do more business with me. So I pick and choose my gifts because it has to be small, executable, low cost, high value to the customer. So I don't like go in the negative in too deep. I'm using that as cost of acquisition when I'm doing those types of things. So there's a mouthful that we just went over today. So
thank you so much for spending the time to watch that amazing training. Like I mentioned previously, my intention is for you not just to watch that training, but if you got something out of it, if you think this information is useful, I want you to continue that journey with us. And you can do that in a couple of ways. One, I want you to smash that subscribe button so that you get notified every single time we put another one of these out, which will be at minimum once to twice per week. The other thing I want you to do is go ahead and click that next video right there beside you so that you can dive in and get shit done. Hope to see you out there.